Cheers everyone, welcome back, Grandma's Handbag. I've missed you guys. I had to jump right back on. I've got some CD finds. Things are going to get a little CD shaped on the handbag. I got a whole backlog of pre-pandemic stuff I want to get through and show you guys pretty quickly. We'll get to that in just a second. The helper, getting a bit cool around here, so nice to have a red wine. And here we've got a dry grown Grenache from the Barossa Valley. Yalumba make this stuff, and really enjoyable. Really savoury but very fine boned stuff. Kind of in a way it can get a little bit Pinot-esque. I don't know if you can see that. But this one coming from the Barossas, a slight bit heavier than some of the higher altitudes, but beautiful stuff. You know, when it's got a cork, you're getting fancy on this stuff nowadays. Always nice to pop something you picked up a couple of years ago and taste how it's going. Anyway, CD finds. Yeah. So I want to show a few of these in the next few videos. Not every single video, but start bleeding them back out. I've just neglected the finds for so long. CDs, you might ask why. Well, look, I mean, a couple of the obvious things is the value at the moment is just extraordinary. You know, where the market for vinyl is right up there, you know, especially for your premium pieces. A lot of people are still dumping CDs. And look, music is music. I love the content of them. Yeah, sure, the format's not as tangible and as fun and as lovely as holding one of these. I get that. The experience may not be the same, but look, throw it in the car. You know, the portability, it's still a physical copy of digital, so you've got that, and you can rip that, take it wherever you want. Anyway, you know all, you guys know all of this stuff. Why else for CDs? I worked for 7 years in music retail, and this was the late 90s to the early 2000s, so it was the preeminent format. And in that time in music retail, I don't know, I have this kind of memory for catalogue numbers and weird things like that. You kind of build up an inventory in your mind of what's a common thing to see and what's less common. So I use that when I'm out and about, you know, op shops, charity, thrift stores, digging in those. And the general rule is, if I see it and don't know it, I'm going to look it up, have a look at it. And, you know, you'll see things that sold in the millions, but you'll start to see those things too that just don't turn up all that often. So that's where I swoop in, hopefully at a really good price. And, you know, the ones that I show you are all going to be $1 each, and I think they were sensational for all of that. So, yeah, basically as well, I'm selling CDs. Again, trading those dollars in, they all add up, and getting some sweet vinyl from the CD finds. I'm also keeping some of them. These are the ones I'm keeping for the collection. I'm not going to bore you with sales pitches or anything in terms of going to buy them. You make your own mind up there. But these ones are going in the collection, and they were all found for $1 each. Basically at this market where I was getting up at around about, I think they call it Sparrow's Fart, meaning very early, sometimes in darkness on a Saturday morning, when rightfully I should be in bed. It's 5:30 on a Saturday morning, and heading into a market close by, and just seeing what turns up. It could be a couple of hours worth of absolute dross and nothing, or with this bunch on one day you can hit pay dirt. Anyway, we'll get into it. New Romantics, 15 classic club cuts. I just like this for the artist listing. You've got your Spandau Ballet, Duran Duran, Heaven 17 Japan, China Crisis, Ultravox, OMD, Devo. It's just got to be worth a bit of a go on that one. So, going to keep that in the collection until I work out if it's really something I'm going to keep long term, but the quality's kind of there. This one as well, New Orders, Substance, 1987. It's, I don't know, you guys can let me know if it's, I assume it's a compilation of New Order stuff up to 1987. I guess the reason why I keep this one is it's a first issue, so it's still actually issued by Factory Communications, and I think that sort of counts for something along the way anyway, but don't actually have a lot of New Order, so it's a good one to have in the collection. Now we got a triple or quadruple Bob coming up, so no, Bob doesn't have some of his fans, but look, $1 Dylan Masterpieces. This is a 3 CD set. I think it only ever got released in Australia and Japan, and it's a whole mixture of live and rare stuff, probably from about 65 to 78 or 79. 3 CDs. I think it was at least three LPs worth, or maybe even... to be honest, I assume it was a 3 LP, but that's a lot of songs to fit on 3 LPs. Anyway, 39 Dylan songs. They cannot be short. Anyway, it's... You see this around in Australia from time to time. I already have a copy, but needed another one because you never know if there's a fan over in the States who's going to need that to plug up a collection or something like that, you know. Anyway, Bootleg Series Volume 6, 1964. Concert at the Philharmonic. Riveting stuff. Just fantastic. Obviously, I'd rather these on vinyl, all of these, but the bootleg series ones are always quite nice because you get a, you know, I don't know if you can see that, but, you know, 40, 50 page booklet to go in with the double CD and the slipcase in there as well. One that I didn't have, I'm going to bring that back home with me. This one I already did have a copy on, the infamous Royal Albert Hall. So this is bootleg number 4. Picked up a copy when it came out, and that's just a that's the Judas concert. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And the last one, again, already had a copy of this one, but this is number 5. So the Rolling Thunder Review. This one is I think it was first issue limited, where it's got the 2 CDs, it's got the booklet, but it also has a bonus DVD in there. Only 3 items, I think, 2 visual and one audio item in there. But look, bound to find a Dylan fan who's going to want these, so keeping those till that day. Picked up a sealed copy of Tempest. Now, I already have a copy of this on vinyl, but this is a limited deluxe edition. Now, I worked out why that is. It had a sample product sticker sealed for $1. Yes, please. But what I actually love about it is that you get this notebook in there. And this is an absolute keeper. They've actually got pictures of covers, magazine covers and things throughout Bob's history. Wonderful, wonderful little memento. So, even if I move the CD on, I'm going to have to be keeping this Tempest journal. Very lovely stuff. Like a moleskin template thing there. Anyway, look. 4 CDs. The Bob Marley collection. Yeah, sure, it's just a compilation set going from early to late, but even this is, you know, kind of well done. A very thick booklet, as you can see in there, and then whoa, just threw one CD across the thing. You've got early through to later Marley, and this is all sanctioned by Tough Gong as well, so it's not one of those nasty compilations. It's 4 CDs of Island Tough Gong era Marley for $1. Jayhawks Hollywood Town Hall, their first. I actually jumped in on them on Tomorrow the Green Grass, so I still haven't heard this. As far as I'm aware, their first one, 1992. Another one I haven't heard, and I'm a little bit scared. Ride with Tarantula from 96. I think this was their final one before disbanding. Doesn't get a lot of good reviews, but got to be done. The Drones with Havila. Influential, one of the best Aussie bands of the last 20 years, I would say. Very raw, you know, anarchic art rock, but with a kind of rural twang in elements of it. Very, very intense, very good stuff. Speaking of intense and good stuff, who's going to leave that behind for a buck? The Sonics. Here are the Sonics on CD. Yeah. I'm never going to find that original copy of this, or even a 7-inch of Psycho, but I'm not going to leave the Sonics behind for a single second. This one looked like an interesting one. Music Club, it's a UK compilation producer. I don't know if they're still working anyway, but Songs from the Heart, the history of American folk music, and it's going to go through your Woody Guthries, your Doc Boggs, you know, a lot of stuff there that it's just important to American folk. We're talking 1960s and before that, even down to Lucinda Williams on there. So again, that sort of thing's a no-brainer. Like this one as well, $1, Miles Davis, Round About Midnight. It's a cover I see thrown up in the VC very often. I think Miles is probably pretty clearly on the nod on that one, but I think the music is going to be super stuff. And the good thing with these as well is, look, bonus tracks on there. Who's going to argue with some bonus tracks? Now, this is an interesting one here. A 2-for-1, Motorhead with Bomber and Ace of Spades. Look, you know, besides that awful Fat Pack artwork and everything, double Motorhead, $1, 50 cents an album. I'm not going to say no to that. And lastly as well, this one was a complete surprise and an absolute one to swoop on. A Mobile Fidelity original master recording of Disraeli Gears, stereo and mono, and just that mo-fi quality you come to expect with this. Spun this a few times, and yeah, look, just on the mix and everything alone, I think it's worth keeping mo-fis in CD form. Obviously it'd be nicer in vinyl, but again, I'll be paying $100+ for one of those to land them in Australia close enough. So $1 for a MoFi Ultra Disc. Yes, please. Alright, thank you for joining in, everyone. Let me know if these are in your wheelhouse. If there's stuff there that you would be picking up even on CD for $1, or you know, what you've been finding out there in the wild. I know we've been mostly shut down, but at what point are you grabbing CDs in lieu of vinyl? Do you know what I mean? Is it if something's more than $5 or less than $5 and the vinyl's $20, do you grab it on CD? You know, I know I'm still a sucker for the silver disc. So to that end, I'll say my farewells now, and I hope you're all doing very well. Please take care out there.